Hello everyone, Bombard here, and welcome to the conclusion of Batman Month. And now we come to the last Batman movie of the month. One that has none of Tim Burton's involvement, has more of the Adam West TV show feel, and is said to be one of the worst superhero films of all. But I'm here to ask, is it really? Well, let's find out as we conclude this month with Batman and Robin. After a failed attempt at stopping Mr. Freeze from stealing a diamond from the Gotham's Museum of Natural History, Richard, or Robin, starts having complaints with Bruce, or Batman, about their partnership, when soon Alfred's niece, Barbara, comes to visit Wayne Manor, but she would secretly go out at night for fun with one of Bruce's motorcycles. All the while, Dr. Pamela Isley discovers her partner is using her venom extract to make her criminal grow big and strong and name him Bane, and kills Pamela when she finds out, only to have her come back as Poison Ivy, and she and Bane go to Gotham to have Bruce Wayne think about the plants. But Bruce refuses, and so Poison Ivy teams up with Mr. Freeze in his attempt to freeze all of Gotham with satellites around the world. And in the meantime, Alfred is dying with the same illness that Mr. Freeze's wife has, but in an earlier stage, as he's finding a cure for her, and what else isn't going on in this mess of a story? That's pretty much the main issue I have with this movie. It goes all over the place and has too many things going on. Plus, the film structure is likely the same as the last film, so that's nothing much. There wasn't much time devoted to Pamela Isley before becoming Poison Ivy, and there needed to be more of her as she is. And to be honest, whenever Poison Ivy does appear, it becomes dull for me, because she's not that interesting even with the outfits she wears. The dramatic stuff is mostly with Alfred dying, which isn't really much. Where the Burton films have the heavy moments spread out and forever having the heavy moments with the heroes, this one only has it with a side character, and even then there could have been more than just that. And the actor playing as Bruce Wayne and Batman isn't anything convincing outside of him acting more like Adam West. But those are the biggest complaints I have with this film, because with everything else, I kind of enjoyed. Unlike Batman Forever, this film is more like the Adam West TV show in how it's presented, complete with over-the-top villains, puns, one-liners, and being very colorful. And of course there's more shots of the suit's nipples and boxes than the last film. But then again, that's part of its charm, and I pretty much enjoyed its silliness. And seeing how it's supposed to be canon with the other films, I can see why it's hated by so many, but I can't put myself in that position. I tend to smile more and had a bit of fun with it, even with the bad credit card, Mr. Freeze's ice puns, and Mr. Freeze himself, who's quite enjoyable. The action is very much like Batman Forever, with cartoon sound effects and enemies that flail their arms and legs when being picked up and thrown around, except it's more silly. The effects are better than the last film, though the CGI looks more like stop motion at points, and it's not as flowing. And the sets are very big and colorful, much like the last film, except slightly bigger. And it's even stranger how there's more statues of naked men holding up the city. And then there's an end credits song that not that many people know about. Where the first film had songs by Prince, the second film had the song Face to Face, which is co-written by Danny Elfman, the third song has Kiss from a Rose by Seal, and now this film has The End is the Beginning is the End by the Smashing Pumpkins, which is kind of forgettable. But I mention this because the sequel song was used in the trailer for another DC film, Watchmen. But that's another topic. Now, the cast is likely the same as the last film, but there's a new cast of characters and they do alright. George Clooney plays Bruce Wayne / Batman. Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Dr. Victor Freeze / Mr. Freeze. Uma Thurman plays Dr. Pamela Isley / Poison Ivy. Alicia Silverstone plays Barbara Wilson / Batgirl. And Jeff Sweeson plays Bane. As a whole, this movie is okay like the last film, though a lot more campy. The characters are alright, the story is all over the place, and the effects are a little better than the last one. So while many people find this to be the worst Batman film and the worst from director Joel Schumacher, I kind of disagree a bit. Sure, it's more like the Adam West show and the dramatic bits are mostly with Alfred. I had some fun with this movie, mainly for its overall look, silly feel, effects, and humor. But its story has too many things going on and could have been toned down more with how crazy it is. Yet, I can see it as a guilty pleasure for me or perhaps a so bad it's good film. But whatever the case, I don't find myself hating this as much as everyone else does. So today, this movie will be a good rating of 2.5+ stars. So thank you for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook or Twitter, support me on Patreon, and tune in next week for a new video. Also, on a side note, I forgot to mention in Batman Forever that I liked a couple of effects such as Batman falling off a building and the Batmobile going up a wall. And that's it.